I'd like to start the Public Works meeting for Wednesday, May 15th at 10:21. We can start with the first item on the agenda, claims.
Yes, good morning. I have, I'm going to start with the ratification of payroll. Payroll that was paid on May 10th was a total of $1,568,082.30. And I have a ratification of claims also paid on May 10th. They were for Fund 231, Local Road and Streets, for $814.30. Fund 474, Redevelopment, Non-Reverting, of $300,000. And Fund 703, Mayor's Donation, for $450.50. Total claims to be paid of $301,264.80. Then I have approval of claims to be paid this Friday, May 17th. Starting with the general fund of $16,836.68. Then I have special revenue of $189,640.07, which are made up of the following funds: 223 Comp Court at $210, Fund 229 Unsafe Building, $86,570, Fund 231 Local Road and Streets, $1,865, Fund 235 Solid Waste, $460, Fund 240 Health and Human Services, $2,073.68. Fund 250 Park Department, $2,000. Fund 254 is the Vehicle Auction Fund of $2,248.50. Fund 258 Bioterrorism at $2,100. Fund 261 Community Development, $24,568.33. Fund 270 Media Fund of $526.45. Fund 703 Mayor's Donation Fund of $1,000. Fund 826 Lakefront of $65,731.25. And then the last special revenue is Fund 849, the Northwest Indiana Tobacco Grant of $286.86. Then I have the following funds: Fund 212 Home Program of $1,021. Fund 224 the Ambulance Non-Reverting of $16,161.25. Fund 730 Police Pension of $640.92. Fund 815 Neighborhood Stabilization Program of $416.69. Fund 816 Lead Grant, $738.13. And lastly, Fund 855 is the Blight Elimination Program of $18,515. Total claims to be paid this Friday of $246,500.51. I'll make a motion to ratify and approve the claims and payroll as presented.
A second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions?
No.
I have one question.
Yes.
Of that 1.5 million payroll, how much of that is general fund?
Let's see if I can give you an exact dollar amount off of here, and I may not be able to. The breakdown may be downstairs. But
Okay, if you don't have it with you, could you just let me know?
Yes, I can let you know. Yes, it's downstairs. This is the total payroll, not by fund.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence and agreements.
Do you want me to make my motion to change the agenda now? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda that item E should be correspondence from Community Development and not Public Works Department.
Do I have a second?
A second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
A, correspondence from Police Department.
Yes. I have a contract here for the Humane Society of Northwest Indiana. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with the Humane Society of Northwest Indiana to provide professional animal control services to the city of Gary. The term of the contract is January 1 to December 31st, 2019. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $10,000. In reviewing the contract for services, this appears to be a similar contract to what they approved last year. The amount is $10,000. The term of the contract ends December 31st, 2019. let's see, and freeze committee form is there. This contract is also signed by the contractor, along with the QC 12 and QC 40. So I make a motion to ratify and approve the Humane Society of Northwest Indiana contract.
A second.
It's been moved in second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Correspondence from Health Department.
Yes. I have a contract here, ratification of contract with Stericycle. Instead of going through and reading the memo that in reviewing the contract, this has not been signed by the vendor. So I'm going to make a motion to defer this contract until the vendor has signed the contract.
Second.
It's been moved in second to defer this contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence from Public Works.
Excuse me. I have a letter here from Robinson Engineering regarding stop sign warrant investigations, Indian Boundary and Newton Streets. Okay. This letter is in response from an email from Evelyn Diaz, City of Gary Traffic Superintendent, dated August 28, 2018. The city has requested that Robinson Engineering Ltd. investigate the feasibility of providing always stop sign control at the intersection of Indian Boundary and Newton Street in order to address safety speeding concerns in the area. The speed limit is posted at 25 miles an hour along Indian Boundary. However, no speed limit signs are present along Newton Street. Currently, the intersection is stop controlled on the north and south legs of Newton Street, but not on Indian Boundary. Based upon our site visit on May 8, 2019, the horizontal sight difference at the intersection appears to be insufficient. Drivers on Newton Street that want to turn onto Indian Boundary or travel straight through the intersection may have obstructed view of vehicles coming from the west due to heavily treed areas on the northwest and southwest corners of the intersection. The locations of the heavily treed areas restrict drivers from having that required intersection sight distance of 280 feet for a 25-mile-an-hour design speed in accordance to the figure 46-10G of the Indiana Design Manual. We have performed traffic counts at the intersection. 13-hour traffic counts were performed on 11/15/18 between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. The morning peak hour was 8:45 to 9:45 a.m. and the evening peak hour was 5:15 to 6:15. Below are our findings. The southwest or north-south approaches Newton Street had 3 in the morning and 27 in the evening. The east-west approaches Indian Boundary had 4 in the morning and 34 in the evening. According to the Uniform Traffic Control Devices, the minimum values required to warrant a full-way stop are 300 and 200 units per hour respectively for the major and minor approaches for any 8 hours on an average day. Robinson Engineering is recommending to Border Works to direct Traffic Control Department to install the signs and stop bars. An always stop sign control to be installed at the intersection of Indian Boundary and Newton Street due to the impact horizontal sight distance at the intersection. 24-inch stop bars be installed on all 4 legs. A stop ahead sign will be installed facing eastbound traffic on the top of the hill of the west approach, as drivers will not see the new stop sign until cresting the hill. 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs be installed on Newton Street for vehicles traveling southbound just south of Oak Avenue and Locust Avenue, and on Newton Street for vehicles traveling northbound just north of Forest Avenue and Harold Avenue to reinforce the speed limit. The justification: although the traffic count volumes do not warrant an all-stop sign control, the poor horizontal sight distance does justify an always stop. According to Section 2B.04 of the Indiana Manual, stop signs should not be used for speed control. However, an always stop is justified since the existing obstructions are on private property and cannot be removed. In accordance with the Section 2B.07, locations where a road user, after stopping, cannot see conflicting traffic and is not able to negotiate the intersection unless conflicting cross-traffic is also required to stop, and an intersection of 2 residential collector-through streets of similar design and operating characteristics of the intersection. After that, it sounds like it's really a safety issue. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the recommendation by Robinson Engineering to install the stop signs and traffic control arms.
Do I have a second?
Second, I'm sorry.
It's been moved and second. Any questions?
Do you want our engineer to kind
I
of
think you
reiterate?
read everything unless
Okay.
there's something
Yeah,
pertinent.
I would just add that that's a requirement by the state to do this investigation before you can just go and install stop signs wherever you want. The email from Evelyn did have 4 locations requested, and out of the 4, this was the only one that actually justified the addition of the stop sign.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence from Traffic Department.
Please be advised, the Traffic Control Department has conducted a thorough investigation to determine the validity of the request. All documentation, driver's license, vehicle registration, handicap plate, placard, letter from physician requested has been received and accepted for the following residents. Renewals for Lois Bragg and Daisy L. Pierce. Thank you. Okay. Upon review of both applications for both applicants, I'm going to make a motion, since the proof of the missing payment for one of the applicants has just been brought to us, I'm going to make a motion to approve both renewals of the handicap signage for both Daisy Pierce and Lois Bragg.
I second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence from Community Development.
Yes. First, I have an approval of an amendment, investor-owner loan agreement, Broadway Area Community Development Corporation. Attached, please find an amendment to the investor-owner home funds loan project agreement. The Community Development Department and the BACDC originally entered into this loan agreement for the provision of funding for the construction of the Madison Town Homes at 15th Avenue and Madison Street in 1995. Under this agreement, the affordability period for the project, or the time period for which the housing project had to be available as affordable housing, was 30 years. That period would have expired in May of 2029. The BACDC was recently able to refinance the project, but an extended affordability period is required. Thus, we are requesting that the board approve the attached amendment, which extends the affordability period for a project of an additional 6 years. With approval of this amendment, the new affordability period will extend to May 2035. This amendment makes no other changes to the original agreement. Upon reviewing the agreement, the contractor has already signed it, as have the folks from redevelopment. I therefore make a motion to approve this amendment.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
NSP Lawn Care?
Yes. Before us is a request to approve NSP Lawn Care contract for 632 West 45th Avenue, 3619 Monroe Street, 3660 Jefferson Street, 3667 Fillmore Street, 3633 Buchanan Street. And the amount of the contract is not to exceed $5,660. Grant funds are being used to cover this, so it does not require Freeze Committee approval. There is the disbarment paperwork here, along with the QC-12, QC-40. Term of the contract is from May 1st through October 30th of 2019. The amount is consistent, I just believe, yes, and this also has already been signed by the contractor. So I make a motion to approve the NSP Lawn Care contract.
A second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
correspondence from redevelopment.
Yes, we have three separate requests here to transfer of properties. The first request is for 2536-38 Prospect Avenue, 2532-34 Prospect Avenue, 2528-30 Prospect Avenue, 1356 Jackson Street, 1358-62 Jackson Street. Do you want to do these separately or together?
We have paperwork for all of the quitclaim deeds and everything for all of them,
Yes, we do.
right?
That's why we were late
So we
starting.
can do them together.
Okay, we can do them all together. Just don't want to keep that. Then I have a request for a quitclaim deed for 2408-10 Tyler Street, 24-12-14 Tyler Street, 365 Jefferson Street, and 5929 East Dunes Highway. These properties will be used for stabilization in neighborhoods in the city of Gary, and that redevelopment is requesting that the property be transferred as a step in the process of conveying property to city residents that are interested in acquiring them through the city's side lot program. Through this program, ownership of the lots would be granted to most responsive and compelling bid by an adjacent property owner whose adjacent property is also their primary residence. The program is intended to reduce blight and overgrowth on vacant land by transferring property ownership to engaged adjacent residents for management and stewardship, as well as returning the properties to the city's tax roll. And then lastly, I have a request to transfer property for 1520 Taney Street, 1528 Taney Street, and 1538 Taney Street for the same side lot program. Based on the review of the documents that we have from redevelopment, I will make a motion to approve the transfer of properties.
A second.
It's been moved in second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the original from the packet. I didn't have it, so.
Any unfinished business?
No.
No, I have none.
Any new business?
No, I have none.
Public comment? Yes.
Well, I did want to make a comment regarding the transfer of property from the City of Gary to Redevelopment Commission. In one instance, much of the Redevelopment Commission acts as the developer for Gary property, and when the Redevelopment Commission disposes of property, the sale of that property, the proceeds from the sale of that property stay at the Redevelopment Commission. Where currently the Redevelopment Commission sits on almost $6 million that they've received from selling Gary real estate assets. This money is not under any authority of the Gary Common Council or any elected officials. The Redevelopment Commission are all appointed officials. And generally, we find that the Redevelopment Commission has a very checkered history with successful uses of the proceeds that they come into possession of. In this instance, we're transferring some properties for the side lot program, but I would caution anyone listening and caution the board that these properties, although they're transferred at no cost to the adjacent property owners, did not come without a cost to the city of Gary. We pay vendors up to $1,000 to clear title on these properties. We also acquire the properties. They're also on tax rolls for years and years and years. So while I'm grateful that at some point the city has disposition of these disposes of these properties, the city actually sits on 10,000 parcels, most of them controlled by the Redevelopment Commission. And as I mentioned, this is one of the biggest problems that the city has. The Redevelopment Commission collecting the money, not having any oversight of how they dispose of the property, and the properties are very expensive to acquire and to maintain. So what I would urge the Board of Public Works, this administration, to look at finding ways of getting out of the real estate business, because the city has is not a very good steward of their properties in regards to keeping them as an asset for the greater community. So I'm going to urge the board to do what we can to get out of that business. You don't have good experience or track record in that industry or business, and redevelopment, of course, has been a disaster for the last since they've been incorporated in 1957. Thank you.
So just to clear up a few things, I disagree that redevelopment has been a disaster. They've had quite a few successful projects in the city of Gary. But we do have a process, whereas when the city owns property and redevelopment only acts as the seller, as our agent to sell that property, we do have a process for the city to recoup those dollars minus the cost that redevelopment incurs for selling the property. It is when the city owns the property and redevelopment did not pay for the property in the first place that this process is enacted. Okay, if there is no other public comments, then I am looking for a motion to dismiss the meeting.
I make,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second. The meeting is adjourned, 10:42.